Picture this. It's midnight and you're alone in the gym. The only sounds are the hum of the machines and the echo of your own footsteps. But what if you're not alone? What if, in the darkness, something else lurks among the weights and treadmills? That's right. We're talking about the eerie world of late-night gym sessions, where every creak of the floorboards and flicker of the lights sends shivers down your spine. From the unsettling stillness of deserted locker rooms, to the uncanny feeling of being watched as you push through your last set, the gym at night is a breeding ground for fear. So grab your water bottle and steel your nerves. Because in this video, we're exploring the terrifying side of fitness that will leave you sweating for more reasons than one. Story 1. Woman at the window. John found himself in a new town, far from home, working on a project for his company that required him to stay for several months. As someone who valued his fitness routine, one of the first things on his to-do list was to find a new gym. After some research, John stumbled upon a 24-hour gym listed on Google Maps. Despite its limited reviews, the fact that it operated round the clock made it an appealing option for him. With his job occasionally requiring him to monitor the factory at night, having access to a gym during unconventional hours was a huge advantage. Located at the edge of the small town, the gym was a bit of a trek from his temporary residence. However, John didn't mind the distance, as he appreciated the solitude and quietness of the outskirts. One night, after a long and stressful day at work, John decided to visit the gym for a late-night workout. As he arrived, he couldn't shake off the eerie atmosphere surrounding the deserted streets and dimly lit surroundings. When he visited the gym in the morning to sign up, it seemed like a lively and welcoming place. But as he returned at night for his first late-night workout, the atmosphere was vastly different. Parking his car in the almost empty parking lot, John made his way to the gym, the only beacon of light in the otherwise dark and quiet neighborhood. Entering the gym, John was greeted by the familiar smell of sweat and stale air, a stark contrast to the fresh night breeze outside. Despite the lack of modern amenities, the gym exuded a rustic charm that appealed to John's sense of nostalgia. John then began his workout routine, lifting weights and focusing on his reps. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, adding to the sense of isolation that permeated space. Was about halfway through his workout, John noticed someone walking past the gym window out of the corner of his eye. A woman walking past. Initially, he thought it was just another late-night gym goer, but then he remembered the peculiar layout of the gym. It was situated on the second floor above a concrete ground, with no conceivable way for someone to be walking outside at that height. The realization sent a chill down John's spine, as he grappled with the unsettling notion that perhaps his eyes were playing tricks on him, brushing it off as exhaustion from his long day. John continued with his workout, trying to ignore the unsettling feeling that lingered in the back of his mind. As John neared the end of his workout session, he approached the final stretch of his usual cardio routine, a 40-minute jog on the treadmill. With the machine positioned near the window, albeit obscured by frosted glass, John found himself pondering what he would do next after completing his workout. Thoughts of his upcoming work tasks flitted through his mind as he glanced out the window, wondering about the rest of his night. Suddenly, a jolt of fear shot through him as he heard a tapping against the glass window behind him. The realization was chilling. Being on the second floor, who could possibly be tapping at a window at this height? Heart pounding. John's mind raced with fear and uncertainty. The tapping seemed to reverberate through the empty gym, echoing the ominous feeling that had been building within him since he arrived. Could it be possible that someone, or something, was trying to get his attention from outside the gym window? John knew he couldn't ignore it any longer. With trembling hands, he slowly approached the window. As he got closer, he gathered the courage to peek out and see what was causing the unnerving sound. As he pressed his face to the glass to see outside, he saw a horrifying sight. A woman with a terrifyingly twisted face staring back at him. Her eyes were wide and unblinking, her skin pale and stretched tight, and her mouth twisted into a gruesome grin, revealing sharp, crooked teeth. Frozen in fear, John stumbled backward and made a hasty retreat to the locker room. Gathering his belongings, he fled from the gym and drove home, his heart pounding with adrenaline and his mind racing with the horrifying encounter he had just experienced. From that night on, John vowed never to return to the gym, haunted by the memory of the mysterious woman and the inexplicable events that unfolded in the dead of night. Story 2. The Janitor. Chris, a seasoned pilot, found solace in his rigorous workout routines despite his demanding schedule. From a young age, Chris had always been passionate about fitness. His father, a retired Air Force officer, had instilled in him the importance of maintaining physical health. Growing up, Chris spent hours in the gym, pushing his limits and finding a sense of peace in the rhythm of his workouts. This discipline and dedication followed him into his career as a commercial pilot. His job often took him to various parts of the world, and he made it a priority to stay fit. Using any gym he could find during layovers, the life of a pilot was demanding, with irregular hours and long periods away from home. Chris found that his time in the gym was not just about staying in shape, it was his way of coping with the stress and solitude of his profession. The gym became his sanctuary, a place where he could clear his mind and find a semblance of routine in an otherwise unpredictable life. One fateful weekend during the busy summer holiday season, Chris landed in a small town. Due to the influx of tourists, he was assigned a room in a smaller, more secluded hotel than usual. This hotel was located on the outskirts of town, far from the bustling tourist spots, making it eerily quiet. The building had an old-world charm, with ivy creeping up its stone walls and an antique chandelier casting dim light in the lobby. Despite its quaint exterior, there was something unsettling about the place. Arriving late at night, around 3 a.m., Chris checked into his room. The room, though small, was comfortable, with antique furnishings and a cozy bed. The wallpaper was peeling in some places, and the furniture had a worn, vintage look. Despite the room's quaint charm, an unsettling feeling gnawed at Chris. He tried to shake it off as he placed his bags on the creaky wooden floor. Exhausted, Chris decided to head to the gym, located on the 10th floor of the hotel, to unwind. As he made his way through the dimly lit corridors, he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The silence was almost deafening, broken only by the soft hum of the elevator as he ascended. The hallway leading to the gym was lined with dusty, old photographs of the town from decades past, their glass frames reflecting the flickering lights above. The atmosphere grew heavier with each step, but Chris pressed on, driven by his need to work out. Upon reaching the 10th floor, Chris stepped into the gym. It was a small, but decently equipped space. The familiar scent of sweat and rubber mats greeted him, providing a sense of normalcy. The gym had an eerie stillness, the equipment casting long shadows in the dim light. Chris began his workout, finding solace in the routine that allowed him to momentarily forget the stresses of his busy life. As he lifted weights and ran on the treadmill, he felt a sense of calm wash over him. The rhythmic clanking of the machines and his own controlled breathing were the only sounds in the room. Yet, every so often, he thought he heard faint whispers, almost like distant voices echoing in the corners of the gym. He dismissed them as products of his tired mind, focusing on the familiar burn of his muscles as he pushed himself harder. After an intense session, Chris decided to take a quick shower in the locker room located behind the gym. The locker room, with its flickering lights and echoes of dripping water, felt like something out of a horror movie. The tiles were cracked, and the mirrors were foggy and streaked with grime. As he entered, the oppressive atmosphere grew heavier, and the sensation of being watched returned with a vengeance. Determined to chalk it up to his imagination, Chris continued with his routine. He quickly showered, but throughout he felt an oppressive presence. The sound of shower curtains rustling nearby made him increasingly uneasy. The sense of being watched was overwhelming. Each drop of water seemed amplified, and the sound of his own breathing echoed ominously in the small space. Hurriedly finishing his shower, Chris dried off and went to his locker to collect his things. The metal door creaked loudly as he opened it, and his movements felt hurried and frantic as he shut his locker door. He was startled by a figure standing behind it. It was a short, stout man in a full janitor's uniform, carrying a mop. The man had dark circles around his eyes and a creepy, unnerving smile that revealed deformed teeth. His skin was pallid, almost translucent, and his eyes seemed to pierce through Chris.
I clean bathroom.
The janitor said slowly, maintaining his unsettling smile and staring directly at Chris. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. You can continue cleaning. Chris replied, trying to mask his fear. The janitor did not respond, continuing to smile and stare. His presence felt wrong, almost otherworldly, as if he didn't belong there. Freaked out, Chris quickly left the locker room. He briskly walked down the corridor towards the elevator, his footsteps echoing loudly in the silent hallway. As he left the gym, he glanced back and saw the janitor pushing his mop bucket, which made a creaking wheel sound out of the gym. The janitor's eyes were still locked on Chris, the eerie smile never wavering. Slowly, almost methodically, the janitor began to follow Chris, pushing the mop bucket in the same direction. The sound of the creaking wheels echoed ominously in the corridor. Chris sped up, finally reaching the elevator. As the doors closed, he caught one last glimpse of the janitor standing right in front of the elevator, staring at him through the gap with that same creepy smile. The janitor's face seemed to distort in the dim light, making his features appear even more grotesque. The slow, deliberate way the janitor followed him made Chris's skin crawl. Feeling a rush of relief when he reached his floor, Chris quickly locked himself in his room. However, he couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he could hear the faint creaking sound of the mop bucket outside his door. The sound grew louder and more insistent, as if the janitor was right outside his room. He tried to ignore it, staying in bed until morning, his heart pounding with fear. The next morning, Chris packed his bags and headed to the lobby to check out. Still unnerved by the previous night's events, he decided to inform the receptionist. The receptionist seemed shocked, her friendly expression turning scared before responding. Her face turned pale. The receptionist then told Chris that there is no janitors assigned to the gym at night. He was in the locker room while I was showering, Chris said. The receptionist shook her head, her expression filled with concern. Sir, I assure you, we don't employ anyone like that, especially not at night. Our cleaning staff only works during the day. Chris nodded, feeling a chill run down his spine again. The receptionist's reaction seemed genuine yet troubled. Chris thanked the receptionist and quickly left the hotel. The image of the janitor's eerie smile and the sound of the creaking mop bucket haunted him, a chilling reminder of the night he would never forget. He never returned to that hotel and avoided working out in dodgy places ever since, the trauma of that eerie encounter forever etched in his memory. Story 3. Live stream workout. Mia, a popular streamer and fitness influencer, had recently moved into an old apartment building in the heart of the city. Known for her dedication to health and fitness, Mia often engaged with her followers during late-night live streams. One particular night, around midnight, she decided to incorporate a workout session in the gym located within her new apartment building. During her usual 12 a.m. live stream, Mia chatted with her subscribers about her fitness routine and the importance of staying active. That night, she decided to explore the gym in her building for the first time, taking her followers along for the journey. As she made her way through the dimly lit hallways, it became clear that the path to the gym was rarely used. The corridor was cluttered with chairs and other items, making it seem like a makeshift storage area. Her subscribers began to voice their concerns in the chat. "This place looks deserted. It's better to turn back. This looks like a scene from a horror movie," her viewers commented. Mia, determined to show her bravery and set an example for her viewers, pressed on. Sometimes you need to be brave and face the unknown, she said, reassuring her audience as much as herself. She finally reached the gym and turned on the lights, revealing a surprisingly well-equipped space. "Look at this! Not bad at all," Mia said, showing her subscribers the gym. Their collective sigh of relief was almost palpable through the chat. She placed her phone strategically to capture her workout and began her routine, chatting with her viewers between sets. And halfway through her workout, Mia noticed her chat was exploding with messages. "Who's that? Is there someone else there? I think someone is watching you." Mia looked around but saw no one. Used to occasional trolls trying to spook her, she dismissed the warnings and continued her workout. Yet, a creaking noise caught her attention. Like a door slowly opening, she chalked it up to the old building settling, trying to focus on her exercises. She finished another set and approached her phone. The messages had become more insistent and numerous. Her regular viewers, whom she trusted, were all saying the same thing. Mia's heart began to race. She scanned the gym more thoroughly this time. Out of the corner of her eye, she noticed a slight movement near a utility closet in the corner. When she turned to look directly, she saw the closet door slowly closing. Her chill ran down her spine, but she maintained her composure, not wanting to show fear, as she was afraid it would provoke whatever it is that is watching her. She decided it was time to leave. Gathering her things, she noticed something alarming. Her bottle of ice-cold water, which she had placed on a nearby bench, was missing. Below where the bottle had been, a trail of water led to the utility closet, accompanied by dirty, dusty footprints. Her mind raced as she realized that someone or something had been brave enough to come close and take her bottle. The thought of what else might happen if she stayed terrified her. She slowly made her way to the exit, trying not to show any signs of panic. Just as she reached the gym door, she heard a door slam open behind her and the sound of heavy, hurried footsteps accompanied by eerie, guttural moans. Mia sprinted as fast as she could toward the elevator. The footsteps behind her quickened, sounding like whoever or whatever was chasing her was gaining speed. The moans grew louder, almost desperate. She burst into the elevator and frantically pressed the button for her floor. As the doors closed, she caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure just a few feet away. Once safely inside her apartment, Mia locked the door and collapsed onto her bed, her heart racing. Her live stream audience, equally shaken, flooded the chat with concern and support. Determined to ensure her safety, Mia contacted building security and the police, who arrived promptly to investigate. Accompanied by officers, Mia returned to the gym, her nerves taut with apprehension. The police conducted a thorough search, finding the gym empty but for the lingering smell of sweat and the faint traces of muddy footprints leading to the utility closet. Inside the closet, they discovered a grimy water bottle with dirty and dusty handprints covering it. The police concluded that someone had been hiding there, possibly a homeless person seeking shelter. Mia shuddered at the thought of how close she had come to danger. Thankful she had escaped unharmed. The police further revealed that there had been multiple reports over the past few years of a homeless man who had been attacking people, and there were even a few cases of murders linked to this individual. Mia was horrified. The days following the incident, she quickly made arrangements to move out of the apartment complex, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. As the eerie tales of the gym horrors fade into the shadows, remember, dear listeners, that the supernatural lurks where we least expect it. Whether it's the echoing footsteps in an empty corridor or the unsettling presence behind a gym locker, the boundaries between our world and the unknown are thin and ever-shifting. These stories remind us to stay vigilant. For the next time you feel a chill down your spine or sense eyes watching from the darkness, it may not just be your imagination. Until next time, stay vigilant, stay curious, and may the mysteries of the supernatural continue to captivate your imagination. This is Supernatural Secrets signing off.